Our second experiment is how to get familiar with using the Bmax station, which is we're gonna use it throughout our course here in the lab, and we start to know how to use the pressure measurement and how to supply pressure from this station. So this is a quick view of the station, how it looks like. So we have different module, we have different ports, display. We need to learn the basic and the necessary one in order to learn how to use this Bmax station. So this is the bore source of the bars. This is where you turn on your station. If it is off, turn it on. Even this is a breaker. This module to supply voltage and current. This is used as power supply in the electrical circuit lab, but we didn't use it for this experiment. Maybe you're gonna use it later. And this is where we gonna see our measurement. Gonna display. We're gonna learn how to control using the bottom here in just a few minutes. This is if you want to measure the resistor. This most likely you didn't use it. And we have two boards here to supply the pressure. One module for small pressure, another module for big pressure. So be careful once you're connecting. You have to choose the right module based on your exercise or experiment that you're gonna do. And this big screen you're gonna use to supply the pressure. So let's turn on this, start to learn about this, and also we're gonna turn on this. So this is for seeing the measurement, and this is for supplying the pressure. So let's try to learn how to use this display in order to see the measurement. So this is what you're gonna see at the beginning once you turn on your screen. Just press D to continue. Then to show up what kind of measurement you're gonna use, you just press menu and make sure this is channel 1 for the upper window and window 2 for the lower window. So I'm gonna only use this one for today's experiment. And how to choose the quantity, just press 1. Once you press 1, this is what you're gonna see and what kind of measurement that I want to measure. Today's experiment is related to the pressure, so I'm gonna choose pressure. So just press this enter arrow. So this is what I see. I'm measuring pressure and the unit is PSI. And here we're gonna display for me from where I'm getting the measurement, from this module B2, MC, whatever. And this is the one is connected for the measurement. So you have to make sure that the one display is connected to one in the connection. So this is BM3C, this is BM3C. If you want to change the unit, go to menu, then go down the arrow here, unit, enter, choose whatever unit you want. But since today's experiment I'm gonna use BSI, I'm gonna choose BSI. If you connect your pressure holes to different module, you can change it through the port. So port, I having two ports. One is measuring small pressure, so it measures from -6 to 6 psi, and the second one measuring -15 to 45. So once it comes to measurement, make sure that you displaying what is connected in the lab. I'm gonna show how to connect and which one I'm gonna connect in a minute, but let's learn how to use this display. Yeah, so this is it for our experiment today. I'm only using brusher and I'm able to measure change the unit, and this is related to the board. So if I want to change it, enter. So this is considered as big brusher since I'm having 45, and to make sure this is the module number. So I didn't change it actually. So to change it, I'm changing the small one. So this is changed to BM4, which is this one, and this lamp will gonna on once this is selected. So let's go to this one, and move on to how to control or supply the pressure. So this big screen to supply the pressure, don't use it to take measurement, you only use it to supply pressure. So how to use this screen? We have three bottom. One is for measuring, control, and vent. So we don't use this actually. I'm only using it for putting the required pressure. So if I want to change the unit, you just press here, and all the units are gonna display it for you. We have different system: English system, metric system, which is the SI unit. If I'm using BSI, so I choose BSI. If you want to choose metric system like bar or Pascal, depends on the question that you're gonna have. But let's choose BSI for today's experiment, and you can change it depending on the question. So BSI, then press this arrow. Now if I want to supply 10 BSI, just write down the number that you want and then press the check mark. This one way how to put your numbers. Another way to supply your pressure, this way you're gonna use it frequently. So if I ask you to increase it by 5, change this number, like I want to increase the pressure by 5, so I write 5, write check mark. So every time I press this arrow, it's gonna increase by 5, 15, 20, 50, 25, and so on. And this is it. So let's go back to 0. So whenever you want to supply, just press control, but since we don't connect it, so we don't see anything. And whenever you want to get back to the the 0, you just press vent. Vent just get rid of the air out from the hose. Since our measurement relates to the pressure measurement, we're gonna use the gauge to compare what I'm having in the Bmax with the gauge. So I'm using this hose to having 2 lines, and one go to the gauge. So how to connect these 2 lines? One should go to the supply, and another one should go to the module that is gonna display the value of the pressure. So since our measurement is considering big pressure, gonna go from 0 to 40 psi, so I'm gonna choose this module. If your question asks you to use small pressure like millibar, in this case you're gonna connect it in this module. So I'm gonna connect it here, and this is it for the connection. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna supply my gauge with like 10 psi, so I'm using psi, and this gauge gonna measure in psi in the red gauge. So let's try to see what happens if you supply this gauge with 10 psi. So putting 10. So once I put 10, once you want to supply, just press control. So you can see that is increased. And this is what is displayed in the BMAX station. Whenever you want to get rid of the pressure, just press vent, so all the pressure go out and your gauge go back to 0. Even this almost 0. So our experiment is very simple. I'm gonna have this table, the true value, I gonna write what I saw in this display, the screen, and then I'm gonna measure the value by the gauge depending on the way how to read the gauge, as we learned in the last experiment. And then I'm gonna find the error and the accuracy of this measurement, and I'm gonna do the same thing for 10 psi, 20, 30, and then I ask you by the end to find the precision for 20. So this is it. So I'm gonna do quickly how to find the true value and measure value, and the calculation I'm gonna leave it to you. So how to do the experiment? Basically, do your connection right. Make sure you are putting the same unit that you have and the same module that we connected, depending on the question that you're gonna ask during the lab. So I'm gonna use this table. I'm gonna write the true value from the BMAX station display, this one. So read it from here, don't read it from here, okay? And the measured value, you're gonna read it from the gauge. I have to know, before I start, I have to know the resolution and whatever I should know in order to do the right measurement. So I supplied by 10 psi. I look for the measurement, so this is the true value. Try to get one close. Don't be afraid which one I take. Take whatever you want. Like say 9.9. I write 9.9. Then I look in the gauge. I know that this line should be 10. So my measurement 10. Sorry, this is not for this. This should be here, and this is 10. Then find the error accuracy, and once you want to increase it to 20, either you write it here directly 20. You have to put it measure. So once you want to increase the pressure, either you write the number directly from here, or you can just go to this arrow and change the increment. So each time I'm gonna increase it by 10. So now 10, I increase it, comes 20, increase it 30, and so on. Let's do 20. Press control for supplying the pressure. Take the true value from here because this is more accurate. So 19.63, 19.73, sorry. And I'm having here in the gauge 20. Just write 20. And continue the table, find the error and accuracy and so on. So this is it. I'm gonna have one gauge. Depending on your gauge, you have to make sure that you put the right unit. So once you finish, you just press vent to release the pressure. Yeah, this is it.